I think I'm gonna leave that one in there.
Good. You should. You probably should.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while. What, a few months?
Yes.
Since we did the last one?
A lot of months. Too many.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a popular guy right now. My watch telling me so.
Oh, you got a watch now.
Yeah, I'm big time.
I want one of those.
I'm big time.
Yeah.
They're really annoying.
Does it go off all the time?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I wear it sometimes, and then there's other times, like, I don't want this fucking thing on.
Is it the cellular one?
Yeah.
So you could just take off and
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the one I wanted.
So it's it's cool. Like, it's cool, like, for tracking, you know, all the fitness stuff and whatever, but there's times, like, you know, I don't want to hear from anybody. And, you know, like, if it's on my wrist, I'm like, fucking text message. Like, leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
You just silence those people. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
You could let them know it's silenced too.
Everyone. Yeah, I know. Well, that was when I text you this morning, right? I'm like, I wonder if he's up yet. And then it shows the little icon that says
so
messages are silenced. So
only my sister, my wife, and my mom could get a hold of me that time.
Yeah.
But that's just that's a whole everything is turned off thing.
Yeah.
But you could turn people off 24/7 too. Like specific people.
I need that. I need that.
I love it when I see it and I'm about to text someone at like noon or 3 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, this person has, okay.
Makes sense.
I'm like, all right, yeah, I'd probably snooze me too.
Yeah. If I figure out how to do that, you will for sure get that when you try and text me.
I'll send a smoke signal. I'll still get you.
Smoke signal. Good job, Mike. What's up, man? What's going on, dude?
I still haven't had a drink since December.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So
good job, man.
Thank you.
Good job.
I thought it was 6 months the other day. It was only 5. I was like, wait a minute. There's got to be another month. Like, you know, February or something like that. Like, how did I? But yeah, the bar's mine. I still taste, but I spit. Every single taste I've had, I've spit. I haven't drank anything.
Okay.
Because, you know, I got to stay on top of the wine. I got to stay on top of the cocktails. Yeah. I'm trying to keep the bar program creative, and I'm trying to make sure that I keep up with Juan's food in the kitchen that's changing all the time.
Right.
So that's my goal. And then just working with the bartenders and trying to get them to execute what our vision is for the bar. And push it. I want to get more creative than we've been already. I mean, there's like concepts and fun things that I want to do that everything has not been stable enough to introduce those things yet. So on the way,
consistency, right?
Yeah,
you need to build the consistency.
Consistency. Make sure we have what we need. Just scheduling. Because that just needs to be balanced out too. Again, just turnover, availability, and people need certain days off, you know, like they'll let me know way ahead of time. It's like, okay, no problem. But it's just trying to juggle all that.
Right on. Cool. Home life. How's the missus?
She's good. I did see her yesterday, so.
All right.
It's been tough.
You're happy about that? Was she happy about that? Or was she like, what are you doing here?
It's been hard. I'm working on trying to get 2 days off because I pretty much work 7 days at some capacity at the restaurant. But she's wrapping up getting her master's in a couple weeks. So
awesome.
Congratulations, babe. Very proud of you. Just been grinding through that.
Well, I got a little dude who is in a tent right now. Well, not right now, not at this exact minute, but he's camping right now.
Okay.
They do at their little school field trip. It's called Malakoff Diggins, and they go up to like Bloomfield. It's out in like gold country, and that's their big thing that they're studying this year is the gold rush. So they go up and they camp for 2 nights in tents, and they're like today he'll be panning for gold and doing the whole thing, man. Like he was pretty pumped, but super fucking nervous. Just, number one about being away from home, being away from us. And it's just a new experience for him. So, so Dalton's out being a gold miner right now.
He's out being a 49er.
Yep. yep. He had to pick a name. So they all get camp names.
Okay.
So his is Dirt Pan Dalton. So he's pumped, man. He's pumped. Both the nephews did it too. Jack and Jake both did it because they went to it's specific to this one elementary school.
Okay.
And both the nephews did it when they went through there. And Scott, actually, my brother, actually went as a chaperone both times. And he said it was super cool, right? Like, like they all get to do stuff, and they all have KP duty, and they're all doing, so.
Scott's in a hairnet, peeling potatoes, pushing the kids out the way, trying to get the goal.
Yeah, probably.
He's like,
that part, yeah, probably. So yeah, he's up there doing that, man. And so that's pretty cool. He's had a pretty good baseball season, man. He's balling. Looks pretty good pitching this year.
Okay.
He's our number 1 pitcher on our team. He's actually hitting the ball pretty well this year too. So he's having a good baseball season. We'll see where things go over the next couple weeks. He's got 4 games left, and then we go into playoffs. And then, depending on what the other coaches think of him, he has a shot at making All-Stars again. Right. So we'll see. We'll see if he has that opportunity. But
is this the league where he's the younger of the group?
He was last year.
Okay.
Yeah, he was last year. So now he's the
right in the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. And then after this season, he'll bump up again. So he'll go to majors, right? So majors are like usually 11-12s, and he'll be an 11-year-old. So, it'll be back to square one, right? You got to compete. Got to compete again with the bigger kids. So yeah, man, he's doing cool, dude. He's doing really cool. Doing awesome in school. Still doing his student council. Had almost a perfect report card that came home for his second trimester.
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty cool stuff there, man. Yeah. So he's a little stud. I know you probably heard the news with what happened a little over a week ago. Like stuff that's going on in my life. We lost my dad. He passed away almost a week ago. So things have been a little tough, right? Things have been a little hard. On top of that, losing my dad, it was a difficult thing. It's weird, man. It's a weird thing to go through. On top of that, so my dad passed away on Sunday, the 24th. I got the call from my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, telling me, I saw the phone ring. It was about 5:00 Sunday afternoon. And as soon as I saw it, I knew, because, my dad wasn't in the best of health and things going on. And you're never ready to hear that. Never really ready for that call. So, that was on Sunday. On Monday, 8 p.m., I get a phone call from Frankie that used to work out here, and Rachel, his little sister. I get a call from their dad, and as soon as I saw the phone ring, I went, fuck. Their grandma, Marlene, who I've been close friends with for about 20 years, trained her, passed away the very next day. Oh, so it was like, it was tough, man. It is tough. I don't want to say it was. So for the last week, things have been a little shitty, been shitty, been trying to process more than anything, trying to process it. Like I said, it's still not real, like I'm speaking like with my dad. I don't think it hasn't hit me, part of that is, having him live so far away, being in Texas. I don't know, it's like, okay, your mind still goes, well, he's just a phone call away, or that FaceTime or whatever. So yeah, it's been rough, dude. It's been fucking rough. You know, it's, you know, I it's weird because, like I said, I haven't really processed, right? Like that first day, I got the phone call, and immediately I couldn't even finish conversation with my sister-in-law. I had to hand the phone to Tara, and, you know, cried for a little bit. But it was like it stopped pretty quick, you know, within a few minutes. And since, it's like my mind won't let me go there, right? Like I like anytime like I even start to have the thoughts of like my fucking head shuts off and it'll bounce somewhere else, or I'll just shut down, you know, which, you know, isn't me, you know. And what's been fucked up is that, you know, like and it's not necessarily like thinking of him or the situation or family or my mom, but it's like I can't sleep. Like, but my mind, like I said, it won't let me go there. It's a weird sensation, man. It's a weird sensation. You know, I've been averaging like 2 hours of sleep a night, if that, and it's just, you know, it's been kind of shitty. You know, yeah.
Kind of I mean, you're in shock.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? I guess that's the best way to put it. You know, the little bit of times that I have been able to sit and think about him, you know, sit and think about my dad, and just, you know, the stuff over the years of, you know, like put some shit on paper here, just of like who he was, and you know, lessons learned from him. You know, it's weird, man. You know, like little stuff. You know, like a couple days after he'd passed, you know, he's a sports fan. You know, loved, you know, I got my love for sports from him and my, you know, of course, my brothers and my sister. And
did he play? Did he compete?
He
or,
did
like,
when he was
kid?
young, you know, and in high school he didn't. You know, I think he stopped playing football like when he was a sophomore in high school or junior in high school. But he, it was hard to watch a Giants game. You know, that because that was something that, like, Giants game comes on, and it was, you know, just hearing that, watching that, the sounds of a game, like that, it takes me back to being a kid. Because I can remember being a kid and sitting, you know, coming and sitting in a chair with my dad and watching the game, right? Like little stuff like that. It's a trip, man. You know, like goofy shit. You know, goofy shit that'll just remind me of him. You know, the talking shit. You know, if you don't know me real well, which I think if you're watching this, you kind of do. You guys all know that I talk a lot of shit. You know, I'm a smart ass.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna give you a bad time, especially if I know that, you know, if you're gullible. I'm gonna
Take
fuck
advantage
with you.
of it? Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
I'm gonna fuck with you, right? I am 100% gonna fuck with you. But I get that 100% comes from my dad.
Okay.
That's exactly who he is. That's exactly who, you know, he was, right? Like one of the best sense of humors you'd ever meet, right?
Now, were his other siblings like that too, or was he kind of the one to get on them?
Yeah. You know, my aunts and then Uncle Rick. The interaction between them, I didn't see a lot of growing up, right? So I'm not real sure.
Okay.
But like, you see it with him and his friends, you know, who, you know, I'd see him interact with over the years, and definitely like he would love, like, if my friends came over,
Yeah.
he would fuck with them.
Yeah, just grill him.
Oh my
Just
God.
find his way through.
Just constantly fuck with them, you know,
Who's
just
this guy.
yeah. Oh, just you know. And
Did he call you Darrell?
Who, my dad?
Yeah. Like, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you're like, Darrell, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah, well, and not even just that, like, just, I don't know, man. I can't even explain it. Just random shit. Like,
And would your friends just
so
be
like Ramen,
huh?
you know, my buddy Ramen, who I talk about, right? Who's, you know, a sergeant with the police force
Okay,
now
yeah.
and whatever. My dad loved to fuck with Ramen. Like, he'd walk in the house and he'd, hey, dickweed. Right?
That
Just,
sounds familiar, actually. Wait a minute.
oh, yeah. And, you know, just like, shit like that, man. Like he just he'd fuck with you, or like like when Tara, first came around, like he definitely, accepting and nice and whatever, but like knew that, with being such an innocent person, he could fuck with her, and he would, and it would just be, I don't know, random dumb shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's looking at stuff like that and thinking about stuff like that is cool. Like of just who he was in that way, and the stuff that he passed, lessons and things, and personality traits that I don't realize that I have until Tara points it out. She goes, Jesus Christ, Butch Jr. Like, and all of us boys for sure, me and Scott for sure, and my brother Eric, like all have a lot of him in us, right? And we're all different in our own ways for sure, but there's a lot of commonalities there, but yeah, man, it's weird to think about how many, after 76 years, how many people he touched and affected in different ways, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think about. I've got, I'm not on social media, so I'm not sharing information that way. If you guys ever do see the WIT Fitness and Barbell stuff, that's 100% Alicia. I don't do it. But the, people that have reached out, because I, of course, being here, I didn't know what the situation was going to look like. Was I going to shut the gym for a little bit, and head out and whatever, not knowing, with coaching and anyways. So I told everybody here kind of what was going on, so I know word kind of spreads. And so I got a lot of really nice text messages, phone calls from, even people that I haven't talked to in a really long time, buddies who I grew up with who remember my dad, and so yeah, it's kind of cool to hear from people like that, like yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was shit that I had on here that I was going to talk about.
Vicky told me you didn't want to hear from anybody, so
yeah.
I'd rather see you in person anyway. So I'm really glad you hit me up. I've been thinking about you a lot, and I'm glad I'm here. I thought maybe this would be something you talk about.
Yeah,
I want to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't know where I wanted to go with this or what I wanted to say, or
what are some things he instilled in you that you think you are extremely grateful for, maybe now more than ever?
Definitely my sense of humor.
Yeah.
That's one. Work ethic, man. My dad, that's one thing about him, like I always remember, right? Like my dad worked for the phone company for 32 years. And, I had a bunch of different jobs working for the phone company, did underground construction for a long time for them. But, he worked, and he was that guy. He never complained about it. You know what I mean? He didn't bitch. He didn't moan. Even, like with that, like when over the last couple of years, he's had a rough last few years of his life. He had kidney disease, had dialysis 3 days a week, had lung disease, a spot on his lungs. So he had a bunch of fluid around his lungs and his heart. 3 years ago, he had a heart attack. He's got congestive heart failure. He's got all this stuff. And when you talk to him, he's, how you doing? Not great, but what? And he would just kind of blow it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, well, you're fucked up. You know what I mean? You got a lot of shit going on here. And he was never that one to complain.
Yeah.
He just didn't. It was just, I'm gonna do my shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna work, and so definitely work ethic for sure. Definitely he was a person. If he started something, he was gonna try and finish it. Right. He definitely put that in us. Like I can remember. You commit to something, you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that was, for the big lesson, I'll give you a quick story, right? When I was, around Dalton's age, probably 11, I think I started playing football. So, saw 2 older brothers play football. I want to play football. I was very nervous about it, though, right? For all sorts of reasons. Very first day of football practice, I was scared shitless. My dad's taking me there for double days. So we pull up, and I fucking start bawling, crying, like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So my dad's like, okay, you don't want to do this? Take all your stuff off right now. You walk over to the coach and tell him, I can't do this. I want to quit. But you have to do it. I'm not doing this for you. You committed to it. You're the one who's going to go over there and tell them that you don't have what it takes to do it.
How'd that go?
Well, how long did I play football for?
You know what? I'm just going to...
Yeah, so,
What coach was it?
I don't even remember the coach's name. We had, it was like youth football.
All right. So
we had a bunch of slapdick coaches on that team.
Gotcha.
We were fucking terrible.
Just average Joe coach, kind of.
Yeah.
Doing it for the one time.
I think our head coach was Coach Jeff. He was a douchebag. And I didn't even know him at that point, Coaches I had a couple years after were pretty good. Anyways. So, yeah, that's that's definitely something that he put in us, right? I say us, not just me. My sister and my brothers too. Yeah, man.
Did you ever get? Okay, so 2 things popped in my head. Did you ever get like in trouble with him, like a real bad time, like the worst of the worst time? If you could talk about it, like this is the worst time I got in trouble with my dad. And then in contrast, was there ever a time where he was like, "Hey, proud of you," like told you, because like I think of my grandfather or whatever. There's probably one of each.
I've got.
But you know what I mean, like one of each that stick out is like each pinnacle for what they were. Or my mom one time, one time I got in big trouble with her. Then one time where she, it was not trouble. It was good.
Yeah. I can give you different ones, right? I can give you a few different ones. Getting in trouble. So I think probably my 8th grade year.
Okay.
But junior high school was terrible for me. Right, it was absolutely terrible for me. It's a shitty time. Right,
I hated that shit too.
Oh, it's a shitty time. You're going through so many changes and shit. And I look back now, and I talk about like diet and stuff. My parents had no clue. Like my parents knew my diet fucking sucked. But like I would take my lunch money, leave the house, stop and buy a Dr. Pepper, a candy bar, and a bag of chips, and that's what I would eat for the day. Like breakfast, lunch. Get home, drink another soda or 2. And then eat dinner and then have fucking dessert.
Yeah.
But I probably had like 4 sodas, 5 sodas a day. Anyways, all fucked up there. Transition from elementary school to junior high school was hard. Like going through fucking starting puberty, like just all sorts. When I was in 8th grade, my dad's health issues started. He had like a 99% blockage in his carotid artery, was in a hospital for a month or so, and off work, and they had to balloon it and clean it out and blah 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 blah. A lot of shit going on. My grades fucking were terrible, right? All over the place. I couldn't getting me to concentrate is hard enough as it is, like on a good day, let alone all this shit. Well, while my dad was going through his shit, I can remember getting a couple of detentions, right, in school for like not doing homework or whatever. Mm-hmm. So instead of telling my parents this during a time that was stressful, I decided to forge my mom's signature.
Nice.
Anyways, I obviously didn't do a good enough job. Because
turned into a phone call? Or?
Turned into a phone call.
Okay.
And, a very disappointed conversation from my parents, and that was one where that was hard, man. That was a hard one, just, I was that kid, I'd rather have you hit me than tell me that they're disappointed in me.
Yeah.
For them to do that, it was like I'd fucking eat my heart, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that whole, like, you know, the forging, the detention slips, my parents finding out, that went along with within a week or so of my parents finding out that I had got the report card out of the mail and hid it from them for a couple weeks.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
Where did you
So
hide
anyways,
it? Did you hide it in a good spot, or was it like...
I was in my room, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and they figured it out, and they were like, hey, where's the report card, dickhead? You know? So, yeah, I think I was grounded for over a month. You know, like,
That's
there was no... Oh, yeah.
Whew.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that was definitely one. That was definitely one. I'll give you one that kind of goes both directions. Same year, towards the end of the school year. You know, I was in that awkward phase of life, and I had a kid who was kind of fucking with me on and off, right? And thought he was cool, you know, kept fucking with me. And finally one day I just beat his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whooped this kid's ass. Like, after school, just fucked him up, you know, and gave him a few, and he's fucking bawling, crying, runs off. And it was like, all right, fucking dick. Like, you're not going to do that shit again, right? Well, guess who went and told the principal?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little bitch who had been fucking with me, right? So, parents get the call, get suspended. Mom comes, picks me up. You know, like, we'll talk about it. When I get home from work, she's fucking hot. She's livid. You know, leaves me at home. I'm fucking crying and shit. And Dad gets home, telling me what, you know, asked me what happened. And it was, you know, super disappointed in you, but I, you know, tell him everything that was going on. And he goes, you stood up for yourself. You know, so it was like he was disappointed, but on the flip, like,
Do what you had to do.
Exactly.
He understood.
He did. You know, so that kind of goes that way. You know, him telling me that he's proud of me, that type of thing. Couple different times, like you said, I was never, you know, hopefully Dalton doesn't watch this too soon. I was never a great student. I love, you know, it's funny is I realize I really love to learn, but I have to do it in a way where I'm going to retain information. And school was really hard for me, right? Just classic learning just didn't work well. Well, and a lot of that has to do with attention, right? Like, my attention fucking like a fucking gnat. Well, my dad bet me $100 my junior year in high school. You know, it was talking about grade point average, and I said, I guarantee you I could get a 3.0. Right? My dad's like, there's no way. So first semester my junior year, I got a 3.83.
Okay.
So that's 5 A's and 1 B.
Nice.
Right. Second semester, I was back to like a 2.7.
Okay.
But
so
I took that $100,
right?
but it was like, my dad's like, you know, I'm proud of you. I know that you can do this. You have that ability, you know, like,
you're motivated.
Yeah. But, and that's just it, right? Is, you know, shit like that, you know, going through my first divorce, right? My first divorce, like I have multiple divorces. Talking about first marriage, the divorce. And
some girlfriends feel like a divorce.
this is true.
Come on.
This is true. Some feel like you're cutting the fucking anchor off, though.
Hopefully, never mind.
Anyways, hopefully the bitches are watching. No, so, yeah, going through that, you know, and kind of just being able to come out okay, you know, from that situation. I remember talking to my dad, like, you know, hey, man, like, you know, you've been going through a lot. And, you know, we're proud of you for what you've done. You know, like, I went through that. I had just, you know, started a business, running a business, just keeping my head above water, you know, and it was like, hey, we're proud of you. And then, you know, within the last few years, he said it a few times, you know, about being proud of me and, like, you know, the steps and, like, being proud of me for being a dad and, you know, the way that I work with Dalton and, you know, just stuff like that, man. So, being able to have some conversations like that in the last few years have meant a lot, really meant a lot. I think, when I think about things and the things that get me the most, like, I had a lot of, I definitely good times with my dad, right? And conversations. I think like emotionally, the hardest part for me to deal with right now is like my dad loved Dalton, right? Like, I mean, he loves all of his grandkids, but I know it meant a lot to him. Like the day before he died, I'm so thankful my dad FaceTimed us.
Oh, wow.
Right. So FaceTimed us, and we would always FaceTime at least once a week. And Dalton we had to say, oh, got to FaceTime Papa for the sports report. So it's usually on Sundays. Well, my dad FaceTimed us on Saturday, which was kind of out of the norm. And we just walked in the door from Dalton's game. He had a pretty good game. He's giving my dad the report, and Dalton having that, just bond with him was pretty cool, and they had a really good relationship, right? And Dalton, he, I don't know how to put it, man. Like he really appreciated my dad. He really appreciated him, like you can even see my dad's sense of humor in Dalton. You can, 100%. And, I'm just glad that he got to have that, but that's the part that gets me, is knowing that he doesn't have Papa anymore, so that's tough, dude. That's tough. Yeah. But, he's, for Dalton, he doesn't quite get it yet, he understands, everything that was going on, understood that Papa was sick, understood, he's a pretty intelligent kid, and pretty intelligent emotionally too. But he's trying to process it in his own ways, like the other morning, he's got his little phone. And so Dalton loves to make like little iMovies, right? And he does like little stop motion ones and whatever. Well, a couple years ago, he tells my mom and dad, like, I want to put you guys in one. So he goes, can you film a robbery scene? So my dad takes like, the attachment for like a garden hose, takes that, pretends it's a gun, ties a bandana around his face. And my mom's filming, so you only hear her voice. And my dad's like breaking in the house through the back doors. But the other morning, Tara comes out from getting ready for work, and he's watching that.
Oh, shit.
So it's like he's trying to process and deal with it in his own way. So, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah.
What on there?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I was just looking at this, right? Like thinking about things that I got from him.
Why'd you write down "call Mike an asshole"?
Well, that's a common reminder.
It has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, Mike, you're a fucking asshole.
All right, check it off, please.
Yeah, just thinking about things that I got from him, right? Like definitely love sports and stuff, but like Johnny Cash, you know how much I love Johnny Cash. Like that's where that comes from. Like I can remember sitting and listening to like records, him listening to Johnny Cash records when I was a kid, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, a lot of the outlaw country stuff. The love of that came from him, just hearing it. And that's always been something for me. Like when I listen to that stuff, like I love that music, but it's comforting because it takes me back to that time. It makes me think of him. Yeah. It's weird to think about, man. Like I said, I'm still trying to process all of it. Still trying to process all the stuff. But yeah, just he was such a good person. Really, really good person. Yeah, a lot of people are gonna miss him. A lot of people are gonna miss him. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
Family gonna get together?
So he didn't want any sort of service.
Okay.
He said, nope, I don't want that. So like I said, the last week, been trying to figure out what's going on. My sister went out to be with my mom. My mom's there with my brother and my sister-in-law. My sister went out. Scott and Shannon went out. I was trying to figure out whether I was going to go out or not, but we're kind of in a holding pattern because, crossing my fingers, my sister's trying to get my mom to come out here for a little bit.
Okay.
Just to kind of get away. My mom lives with my brother and my sister-in-law. So her and my dad were in that house with them upstairs. That's that kind of small area, just to get her out of the element for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to get her to come out here.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I was like going to fly out this past weekend, and then Deanna's like, well, hold up, wait, so I'm hoping that happens so we can get her to stay with us for a little bit, stay with my sister for a little bit, just kind of decompress, and just kind of get away and give her a chance to clear her head. And yeah, man, yeah, I hope she does. If not, we already had a trip planned for me and Tara and Dalton to go Memorial Weekend, which is just in a few weeks, right? So yeah. So I know we've talked about, like, all of us kids getting together in a few months, planning something, and just us kind of hanging out and shooting the shit and kicking back. But I know, like I said, he didn't want a service. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's about all I got, man. That's about all I got.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot to have.
It is.
Talking about music, like, my grandpa used to listen to, like, CCR all the time.
Yeah.
Like Fats Domino. There's like probably a stack of CDs like that I still have of his that just totally remind me of him.
Yeah. And it's fun, dude. It's, you know what? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's stuff that I didn't even like then when I was a kid that now, of course, I like it, So that was like Perez Prado, the Mambo guy. Like, I would hear that album start, and it was like this Longhorn, do-do-do-do, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
It'd be like Saturday morning, I'd be like, man, he would blast it. And he didn't do that often, like really pump some music up.
Yeah.
But that one. And then it was just like, this sound that I'm not used to, when I was a kid. And he would just do it.
Yeah.
That now I love it, of course.
Well, what's funny, man, is like it's the same thing with my dad, right? So a lot of old country and stuff when I was young, I wasn't that into, right? Like Johnny Cash, I always kind of had that, like, yeah, I like this. Just something about just that low voice. And, something about Johnny Cash I've always been drawn to. But there's a lot of other stuff, man, over the years that, when I was younger, I would have told you, what the fuck is this? I don't want to listen to this. And now, like, you go to, like, some of my playlists, and there's a ton of stuff I think about that's like, this is on, like, my dad's old cassette tapes, right? Like, some of the old country stuff, like, perfect ones, like Marty Robbins, like the El Paso. I don't know if you know that song. Mm-mm. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso. Anyways.
Sounds a little familiar.
You would know it if you heard it. But like that when I was a kid, I'm like, oh, it was terrible. Now it's like, I love that song, right? Like I love Marty Robbins and, anyways, just stuff like that, man. It's a trip. Right? How things change. And a lot of it's tied to memory, right? It takes you back to just good memories and takes you back to, like I said, like takes me back to hanging out with my dad or, just my dad having music on because he's out working on a project in the garage and, doing different things or making me do different things. Talk about hard work, right? Here's one for you. So we had this old cement slab in our backyard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it was probably, I don't know, man, think about it, 10 feet by 10 feet or 12 feet by 12 feet.
Okay.
And he had a shed on it, right? And anyways, he wanted it gone. And I was probably right around Dalton's age. And my brothers, were a little bit older. They had jobs, whatever. So it's summertime. He goes, I'll pay you to break this up with concrete and, take it to the side yard. It's concrete slab, right? So No, it's not attached to anything, not super deep, and whatever. So, hell yeah, you're gonna pay me. I can't even remember how much he's paying. $50, $100, something like that, right? And I'm like, okay, break this up. I'm doing calculations in my head. I'll have this shit done in a day. 3 weeks later, I'm out there still pounding maybe not 3 weeks, probably 2 weeks later, I'm still out there pounding concrete, like blisters on my hands and shit, But I remember that summer, it was like, I'm getting some fucking baseball cards. That was one of those, like, here, you want to earn some money?
Yeah.
Here you go. You're going to fucking work, So, anyways, stupid story. But, yeah. I think we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Anyways, I don't even know who's going to listen to this or what, dude, but that's all I got.
All right.
I don't know. That's all I got, man. I ain't got shit else to say.
Thank you, everybody, for checking us out.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon. I'm going to make better effort. Tuesday is today, right? Tuesday seems like they all bleed together for me now.
Yeah.
Seems like a day where
you're asking the motherfucker who ain't slept in a week what day it is? Come on, man.
You said that's enough. I'll take it from here.
Oh, shit. Here we go. We are going a wild ride now, huh?
I'm going to try to be here more consistently and, for the podcast to start and then hopefully get my butt in here to work out. But Tuesdays have been looking good. If they're good for you, they're pretty good for me.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you, let's try in 2 weeks to do another one. Let me get this one up. And Mother's Day is around the corner. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. Follow us. Tell us some stories of your own. Anything that you can think of would be really cool. And what's your dad's name?
Butch. Yep.
Butch, rest in peace.
Yep.
And yeah, we're thinking of you.